If you like my anime content, please subscribe to my second channel, Anime Debate. There's a link in the description and a card popping up now. Thanks a lot, guys. Hey everybody, it's Chris, and it's been some time since we talked about being socially awkward. Now, if you don't know, I myself have been and still am socially awkward. When I meet people that I don't know, I have a hard time, and I tend to kind of like clam up a little bit. I don't like jump out of my shell right away unless I feel like I absolutely have to. And I push myself from my deep depths. It's like powering up like in Dragon Ball Z. I bring up Dragon Ball Z a lot because I love that show. So it's like, you know, you get ready to meet people, you go in the bathroom and you go, but instead of doing that, because that looks like you're pushing out poop, you're instead going, I can do this. What can I say so they don't think I'm a weirdo? What can I say to keep myself calm? What can you do as a socially awkward person to get better at socializing? Practice. Find friends that know that you're socially awkward. I know that you already have friends, and if you don't, you can find some. You can look on the internet. There are people just like you everywhere on meetup.com, all these different sources, people who have the same interest as you that are willing to talk to you about one thing only, and that is gaming, video games, TV shows, anime, anything. Like if you're into something, you can find someone to talk to you about it, and you can practice with that. So you take those same skills you learn from your nerd stuff. Like I can go on and on about comic books and TV shows and Zelda and all that stuff, right? But when it comes down to some situations like really like grueling political stuff, I clam up. But I've learned to transfer my ability to talk about things I care about, talk about things I don't care about too. So like, let's say that you have, someone's coming to you and they're like, hey man, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about, green lollipops that also taste like doo-doo. And you're like, I don't know anything about that. And that person will go, what, you don't? And I go, yeah, I don't. But you know what's interesting though? I like the color green. Have you ever seen a green Ninja Turtle? And go, yeah, I have actually. They're all that color, aren't they? Yeah. And you just kind of bridge the conversation. Again, you're carrying things in a way that you can also interact with that person without feeling like you're extremely, like inept. Before you meet someone new, figure out at least 3 questions to ask them that will lead to a conversation. Because if you're socially awkward, you're nervous, you're afraid, you don't know what to say. You freak out, you start shaking. So be ready with things you can ask that will get that person talking. That is the most important thing, is that they are talking more than you. And then once you see that they're comfortable, you'll loosen up. So I'll use an example of a question that I've used in the past of, so how do you feel about your current job? Like, just say it's a new person. They'll go, oh, I hate my job. Why? They'll go on the elaboration. Or I love my job. Why? They'll go in the elaboration. They will do the talking. Just lead them to water and they will drink. Now, one of the most socially awkward characters in all media, in my opinion, is Batman. You get Batman, he walks in the room, doesn't say much, he just says, yeah, I know, leave me alone. Okay, cool. He is a hard person to connect with because he is socially awkward, because he's not there to socialize. He's there to get a job done. How can you be more like Batman? Now, I'm not saying to be cold and close yourself off from people, but I am saying that if you're socially awkward and you're afraid of things, protect yourself a little bit. Protect yourself. Don't allow others to attack you and your being in your space, Just be very, very, warm, but at the same time, controlling of your area. So someone comes up to you, hey, buddy, what's going on? Let's have a talk. They start going on in the place, go, hey, sorry, I gotta focus on something. Just grab your phone real quick, breathe, and then you take control of the situation. So you go, hey, I just found this thing called Pokemon Go. Do you know about it? Another thing I'll tell you, and this is the last thing I'll tell you for the day, we'll come back to this if you want more tips, by the way. And let's be real about it. I say this all the time. The best thing you can do to combat being socially awkward is to let people know that you are socially awkward. That's all. And don't do it in a mean way. I know a girl that I won't say her name, but she is very, very upfront about her things. So if I sat down next to her at one point and she goes, oh, I don't like my space. Could you move away from me? And I go, oh, sorry. I'll go over here. Okay, cool. And it's very off-putting. If she instead said, hey, I have anxiety and when people sit next to me, it makes me nervous. Could you move over? Oh, sure, no problem. So could you tell me about that? I'm a person that have empathy, so I want to hear more about, why they have this issue. If they come at you in a mean way, then you're not going to want to help them. So if you really, really, really want to, get help with this situation, be upfront with it immediately. Tell people, hey, I get anxious when I have to go into social settings. Can you help me out with this? Can you give me some tips? And before you know it, somebody will reach out to you. There's no one's going to look at you and go, oh, you suck, and walk away. Those are my 4 more socially awkward tips for socially awkward people. Let me know down below if you guys have any tips for socially awkward people. And if you are socially awkward, ask me a question down below. I will answer it. I will make sure I answer every single question in the comments down below. And I'm here for you guys. Please enjoy this week's Neuromotivation. If you missed it, go check out last week's where I told you how stress can ruin your life. Thanks a lot, guys. And Amber, use teleport. If you are struggling with this thing, you can definitely practice online. Like, a lot of people are really much better at speaking, like by typing and tweeting and whatever it is. I think if you start there, you can transfer that ability into real life. You just have to just change the way you see it. I really do believe that it's possible. I've seen it work. It just takes time, practice, repetition, and belief that you can do it. You're a likable person, people love you, and you'll be okay. Take care of yourself. And again, if you need anything, let me know down below or tweet me over at Twitter at @CSandreas.